for it. I am still hoping for it. And in fact, if he did do this and turn heel on the Undertaker, then wow, straight away up there with the top heels. And like you said about Big Show not having his last match, why not take him to WrestleMania next year and have Roman Reigns beat him too?
Yeah,
I'm sure that would definitely generate some heat. But yeah, well, if it does roll around, Roman could be one of the top heels in the company. And it's kind of one of those things that they're missing right now, a heel that gets booed. It's like the only one I see that actually gets consistent boos week in, week out is The Miz. So come on, you need someone working at the top level who's doing that. They're sorely missing that now. A lot of people have too much respect for the wrestlers and that, but let's just say Roman doesn't have to worry about that.
No, you're absolutely right there, and as long as they sort of treat him the way they do now, he's never going to be liked. And I think it would do Roman a lot of good to just be able to let some of that he must have some inner emotion, surely, about these boos and what have I really done wrong? He can make the fans try and feel sort of bad for what they've done, and it's their fault that he's had to do this, and he's done everything by the book, but they don't want him, and it's their problem, and he can really push it back on the fans here. So and then even then, Matt, you can have him turn back eventually, because there'll be no doubt that he'll become the cool bad guy, and then they will start to like him. I guarantee it, but they should have done this years ago, in my opinion. But yeah, Jimbo, I'm with you. If that happens, I think we can say that WrestleMania would have had a very big positive effect on at least one thing, let's say, coming out of it. So, we will wait and see. Okay, well, that's all the questions out of the way with. And it gives us time now, Matt, because, it's unbelievable where we are now, Matt, but we are only, 1 week away from WrestleMania week itself, Matt. And, it's crazy to think we're this close, I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah, when you said that, I was expecting that old retro music to kick in, and I was like, what? And then I was like, no, well, yeah, but only a week away. I can't believe it. And, that's what I was saying at the start of the show. I'm still waiting for this real big WrestleMania buzz to kick in.
Sure.
And it's crazy to think that we were considering, getting tickets to this event and everything. And with the way things are now, kind of thinking, well, I'm not too upset that I'm not there.
Absolutely. Well, he mentioned the music. It's here. We have got it, Matt. Don't you worry. And gives us time now to let you guys know WrestleMania week on the Wrestling Style podcast. We are going to be having our, of course, regular show next Monday to kick off our WrestleMania week. We're going to have the latest news going into the go-home shows of both Raw and SmackDown, of course. That week, we're going to have also the Magnificent Seven. Join us for that. Plus, Matt's got a brand new idea, Matt, and I think are we calling this the Booking Seven? I think we're going to go with.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, just give Paul that, because we're not all entirely excited about the card that's coming up for WrestleMania. So why not we just tell you about the ideas that we would have had if we were booking it, because it can't be any worse than it already is, right?
Yep, so we're going to have a whole episode of that. We're also going to be going back to 1997, 20 years ago, to go through and review the full show, and you guys can join us on that. That's going to be in 2 parts. Plus, we're going to have the NXT preview, review, the Hall of Fame. We're going to have some preview on that, and we're going to have a mega show. Hopefully go out on the weekend. It's going to be a full preview, and I can tell you this, we're going to have something very special in it as well. It's going to be an extra long show, so all that and more. And don't forget, of course, it all ends on the Monday night, where we will be doing our full review of the fallout of WrestleMania itself. So all that to look forward to, and more, and we look forward to having you there next week. So Matt, just to go back to now more present stuff, just want to give some people a little bit of a spoiler perhaps for tonight. So if you don't want to know, don't listen to this one. But the Undertaker apparently is in the building tonight in Brooklyn. Of course, we were there a few years ago now, Matt, in that same very venue. where Raw's coming from tonight.
Yep, fond old memories that they were.
Of course, and in fact we saw the Undertaker there as well. So yeah, apparently he's going to be there tonight, and he's going to. I should imagine there'll be something with him and Roman, probably a segment or none the other with one another for sure. Matt, the other thing coming out is that apparently we're hearing, Mick Foley's he's got to have surgery at some point. They're saying it's got to be quicker, and that's the reason they need to get him off TV faster. But in your opinion, Matt, will they probably hold out just up to WrestleMania and maybe do it the night after and have a new Raw GM at the start of the sort of wrestling calendar year, or do you think they might do it as soon as tonight even?
Well, I guess that would make sense if they could hold off. Like the Raw after WrestleMania was a crazy one, so a lot of new changes are often made there.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's as serious as that and they need to straight away, health's got to come first, and plans can be changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I said I had some news on the Hall of Fame, and people have been asking for a few times. They're like, "Who's inducting who?" and all the rest of it. I can tell you, Teddy Long will be inducted by the APA. Both Ron Simmons and JBL themselves will be inducting him into the Hall of Fame. But the latest breaking news, which is I think a really big one here, and I was hoping they were going to get him back, Matt, because there's nobody else that could have inducted these two guys other than their sort of greatest manager that was always with them. And that, of course, the Rock and Roll Express will be inducted by none other than Jim Cornette himself. Will be there. It's going to be great to see him. Lord knows what he's going to say when he gets up there. The guy just doesn't stop talking. But will be great to see him in and around the WWE guys. Haven't seen him on WWE TV for a long old time. But, you never know. When guys go back at things like this, there's a lot of opportunities for people to sort of like start talking to people and say, hey, maybe you fancy this or doing that. Because it would be fantastic to see someone like Jim Cornette work. Me personally, Matt, I would just love to see a segment of Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman. I think that would be gold, just to see those two guys on the stick battling one another, who would come off the best there, because Jim Cornette was so innovative on some of the stuff he used to come out with on Raw, especially that segment he used to have when he used to trash talk about WCW. I don't know if you remember that, but he just used to come out with so much good, funny stuff. So, and I think if they could get him possibly managing somebody, and how ironic would it be, Matt? Because we know the tension between him and Kevin Steen and all the rest of Kevin Owens. If they could do something with Kevin Owens and Jim Cornette, just to really throw the spanner, and people I'm sure wouldn't see it coming. But what kind of deal that would be if you could put that together, to have those two guys after everything that was said. Surely there's got to be some money in that. Not only that, we also now have heard that they're going to do the whole Warrior Award this year as well. They're also going to be... Beth Phoenix hasn't got anybody announced who's inducting her just yet. Rick Rude will be inducted by Ricky Steamboat. And was it a surprise to you, Matt, to hear that Kurt Angle will be inducted by John Cena?
Cool, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise to me. There was quite a long list of people that I was thinking would be on there. John Cena wasn't really on my short list, but why not? I mean, John Cena's a legend in his own right, so and he's bound for the Hall of Fame in his future, and so
yeah,
totally acceptable, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could have certainly not a bad one. So as it stands at the moment, Matt, I think Kurt Angle gets main event spot here on the night of the Hall of Fame for sure. From what we're guessing from this year's, and it'll be interesting to see how he talks about it, and there's been a lot of stuff written this week that he's built bridges back with Vince McMahon, who he considers his a true sort of father figure in his life at one point or another. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say, and I'll be interested, Matt, whether he does mention about anything that he did with TNA and stuff like that, and because we know WWE, they're not too worried these days about the whole mention of them anymore. from what we've heard anywhere else. But I wonder if he's just going to talk about his WWE career, or he does talk about sort of post WWE as well. Who knows on that? But I'll be looking forward to seeing what he says nonetheless. And the only other news that we've got coming is that, I'm sure this will be big news for you, Matt. KFC are involved in the sponsorship of WrestleMania, so expect one of them bloody adverts to go up during the show.
It's just that and Snickers, that's all I hear about these days.
Oh, and Snickers, yeah, Snickers are still there, don't worry about that, it's Snickers and KFC, so you've still got that happening. Don't you worry, that's still there, but it'll be interesting. Matt, just wanted to talk about now something that we didn't sort of get into too much last week, but this whole affair between, now we know it's definitely happening for sure. John Cena, Nikki Bella versus Maurice and The Miz. How do you feel about this match, Matt? Because is this one of those matches that, similar to AJ, they could have done a little bit more with Cena, or are you happy that this is happening and, it's something better than nothing? I mean, this is probably going to be one of those sort of gimmicky type matches, isn't it? It's not sort of main event level match, but it's going to be one of those matches that it's going to be different to anything else on the card, I guess.
It's another case of having two guys that have worked their butts off, and then what they get, they just get a match that has no real consequence. And there's a little bit of a worry because we had mention of this match, about 6 weeks ago or so, where someone had emailed us in and said, there was a rumour that this match would happen and that John Cena would propose at the end of this match.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
In the storyline arc, we're getting mention of the fact that Nikki will never have one of these, and they're showing off the wedding ring.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh God, is this where it's leading? Is it leading to the cheese factory?
Well,
because I don't think it needs it, and I think like John Cena and Nikki, what they have is between them two, and although wrestling is a huge part of their life and a huge passion for them, it doesn't mean they have to share their personal life with everybody out there watching.
Yeah, I mean, is it going to be Macho Man and Elizabeth all over again? Is that what we're getting here? The thing is with Cena, the one thing you can guarantee, he's corporate Cena. There's no doubt about it. The guy puts his work before anything, that's for sure. So, is he gonna have they sort of? It's almost like WWE. Vince McMahon and John Cena have worked a deal out for his personal life. It's almost like Vince has said to him, "It's okay, John. You can get married and still be my number one guy, but you've got to do it at WrestleMania." That's almost like this is how it's coming across to me. Like the only way Cena was ever going to do this, because he was such a workaholic, is that he's going to do it, but he's going to do it while he's working. He's going to do it in character. So who knows? Is it going to be a total spontaneous thing? I very much doubt it. And if he did do it spontaneous, wouldn't it? I don't want to. I mean, I sound really, really terrible here, but just imagine Nikki says no.
Yeah, that would be awful.
The biggest, I think that would be the biggest thing out of WrestleMania that night, despite whatever happens from Roman, if we had that, wouldn't it? If that was the case, right there. So, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I feel like WrestleMania, Matt. I mean, how long is WrestleMania? What is it? 4 hours or is it 5? I don't even know the length of time.
I assume it has. The last few years it's been like 4 hours, but then there's a pre-show as well, so you never really know the true time because you never know when the pre-show matches are on. Because I'm sure a lot of people will tune in for the pre-show, but I only go there for the matches myself. Yeah,
and the thing I'm thinking about is that as well as I do, Matt, that you got to think about the timing of it, how congested it all gets, because. Let's be honest, first of all you get those videos played, then the anthem, then another video, then the whole fireworks feature. You're probably already sort of 15 minutes into the show. Then they'll probably have a New Day segment. That's going to be another 10, 15 minutes going on as the hosts, or they're going to be doing stuff backstage the whole evening, which will combine into 15 minutes. The entrances are always extra long, and with the amount of matches we're getting here, I think that